Hello YouTube, my name is Alice Nightbird and these are the Nightbird Vlogs. So, I don't want every one of these videos to sound like a rant or something of that nature. I really don't. There's just some things that I need to discuss. I guess there's things that I need to get off my chest. And one of those would be geek culture. Because it's both a unifying force, basically, but there's also people in those fandoms that seem to be hell-bent on ruining it for everybody. Sort of, I'm sure there's a meme about it somewhere. Those darn geeks, they ruined geek culture. At the end of the day, whether you're into Star Trek, or Star Wars, or Stargate, or Star X, really even Lord of the Rings, or anything of that nature, anything that has a kind of fandom behind it, there are always going to be people that just unify behind their enjoyment of the culture, their enjoyment of the fandom. They're going to come together and they're going to sometimes even organize and have whole actual organizations behind this. I happen to be one of those. I mean, two of those actually. But that's not the purpose of this video. But then there's also going to be people that just tear it apart, that nitpick over every little thing. Like, sure, if there's been a big glaring mistake, by all means point that out, and sometimes if it's like an online release, they'll even correct that. I've seen it happen with The Mandalorian. There was a guy, if you watch The Mandalorian, you know who I'm talking about. He's no longer in there anymore. They took him out because so many people noticed him, basically, and somehow the editors or whatever did not notice them while they were doing their job. Neither here nor there, but there's going to be people that have differing opinions on everything, and that's perfectly fine as long as it does not become toxic, where your way of seeing things is the only proper way of seeing things. No, everyone has their own take on things, everyone has their own viewpoints on things, everyone has their own way of looking at things, really. So, like, certain characters' emotional responses, we'll put it that way, because I've seen a lot of talk about this sort of thing in recent media, and it's sort of annoying. Because, sure, that's not the same character as it was in the first season. But do you actually want it to stay the same? Do you want there to be no character progression whatsoever, and it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again in every episode? I kind of think not. And there's all kinds of Mary Sue naming going on, and really it doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't make anything better. All it does is drives a wedge between you and people who feel otherwise. And to an extent, I mean, I kind of get it. I kind of do. But it didn't ruin your childhood. It really did not. You know, maybe you don't agree with how a character developed, you don't agree with the story that they found themselves in. Sure, that's fine. But to say that it ruined your childhood is a little extreme in my opinion. By all means, be mad if something makes you mad. But at the same time, you have to pick your battles. You know, is this actually the hill you want to die on? You know what I mean? Like, there are so many other things that actually have importance to the world, going on in the world, that you could have just as strong an opinion about, and it actually mattered. It had effect. You could actually change things if you shared that opinion. Saying, this character would not have done that. You're not the writer. The writers are the ones that determine what the characters do. The directors are the ones that decide what the characters do. The actors are the ones that decide what the characters do. You're sitting there on your butt, on your couch, on your chair, in your bed, something, watching this and critiquing it, and you don't really know. Like, you can infer possibilities. Okay, well, they've done this in the past, so maybe they'll do this. But then this doesn't happen, and you don't like that. And I understand that. I do. I've been there. I've had these interactions with characters where it should have gone a certain way in my mind. But then something totally different happened, and it was, yes, sure, shocking. I did not see that coming. I would have imagined this thing, or even this list of things could have been what happened. But okay, I guess this is where we are now. And really, you're not making friends by just naysaying like everything that you do not absolutely agree with. I know I'm not trying to ask anyone. I would never ask anyone to be. I never ask them to conform, but at the same time, again, pick your battles. If it's not something that can be changed, sure, get it off your chest if you need to. But it's not going to actually change anything. Like, these people responsible for the creation of this have full say in how things happen in this. And if you don't like that, then, I don't know, stop giving the money. You know, like, there are clear ways to show that you do not like this in ways that they will actually pay attention to. You know, because it's just the way things work. Like, if you go online and look at reviews of things, mostly you're going to see bad reviews. Especially if it's like a restaurant or something of that nature. Just bear with me here. I'm getting back to it. You don't normally leave a review on something if you like it. Necessarily. Most people don't anyway. Typically you see reviews as being a way of complaining about something. And yes, that does have its place. That's absolutely valid. But what we're really talking about here is something that, sure, you know, you gave them however much money to enjoy this piece of media and you did not enjoy it. And by all means, complain about it. But to go on, like, a campaign across all social media saying this is garbage, don't give them your money, it wasn't for you. People, for every person that's mad about a certain thing, there are an equal or greater number of people that absolutely adore it. Please just bear that in mind. That's really what I'm asking here. Just, if someone enjoys a thing, these are very difficult times. And if someone can find a little bit of joy in one little piece of fandom, let them have that little piece of fandom. Don't be the jerk that comes by and tries to smash that for them. Just don't be that person. Nobody likes that person. You don't like that person. I don't like that person. Nobody likes that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there is just a little kernel of happiness that people are able to cling to, whether that be a book, a movie, a series, a character in the series even, let them have that. If it's something they can relate to, or something that they like, for God's sake, let them have the stupid little thing that you don't like. Because it makes them happy. It doesn't matter if it makes you happy, it makes them happy. So, stop it. Stop it. That's another rabbit hole that I'm not going to get into in this video. If they're happy with it, don't mess with them. Not something that's going to be brought up in this video, because that would be hour-long video, and I just don't have the time or energy to deal with that right now. So, for now, basically like I say at the end of every video, peace, love, and keep being awesome.